Hi everyone, I'm Chris O'Neill from Sew the Distance. Thank you for joining me today for week 14 of my vlog. My vlog is very casual and it's just an update on what's been going on in my life this week. For those of you who are new here, I recently moved to another state. We downsized to a much smaller house. However, I have a much bigger sewing room, so I've been slowly getting that room into shape and working through all of the craziness of my space because I have a lot of stuff that I'm purging and getting rid of and donating and tossing and all that stuff. So thank you so much for being here. So let's see, I'll start with a sewing room update. There is still no door. There's still no dishwasher. Now, I know this is a small problem in the greater scheme of things, especially with everything crazy going on in the world right now, but boy, I really want that door and I really want that dishwasher. I cannot wait for both to come in. Hopefully next Friday I'll have a big announcement and the door will be here. The dishwasher, however, it looks like another month out. I'm wondering if it was on that ship that got stuck. It could have been, maybe. Anyway, let's hope it comes soon. I will give you a mini tour of my sewing room. I did record one. Not much has changed. I got some new lamps. That's pretty much it. And we also emptied our storage unit, so more junk came into my room that I have to go through. So I do have, well, let me just show you the video on that. So probably the biggest addition, which is not much, is that lamp. I had a yellow lamp there before, but I like this one a little bit better because it gives off a little more light. And I'm just going to do a quick pan here. You can see my corner of shame grew because of the storage unit in part. And I have my recording equipment up, sewing machine. And then I haven't really done much with this. I did acquire a few more quilts that you'll be seeing in episodes of Lessons from an Old Quilt coming up. This is the quilt that I highlighted for Tuesday's video, which was my grandmother's quilt. But not much has changed, guys. I wish I had more of an update for you. So as you can see, it's not much different. It's coming though, and we have some plans for it. I know a few weeks ago I talked about lighting. We're still trying to figure that out. However, I did order lights for recordings. If you've never done anything on YouTube or recording or anything like that, you probably don't realize how important lighting is and how much of a pain in the neck it is, to be honest with you. I came into this in September with very little recording experience. The only thing I had for recording had to do with school as a teacher and teaching remotely last year. So very little experience. Did not really realize the importance of light. I knew it, but I didn't understand it exactly. So I did order some lights for my recordings. Hopefully the lighting will be much better. Let me just give you a little example. So right now I have two lights on me, and I'll put a picture here of what I see right now, the two lights. One is a photography light and one is just a light that I got at Walmart, like the one on my desk. Let me just show you what happens when I turn off one of those lights. Okay, you can see I kind of just got all dark. So let me turn it back on. It brightened up a little bit, but still I have some weird shadows on my face. And I did order some professional lights for recording to fix that problem. So hopefully my video quality will go up a little bit. I can't wait for that too. So that's the big news. Also, I will be launching my Etsy shop. Like I said before, I have buttons in it right now, but I am going to be putting more products in there, and so stay tuned for that. I'll put a link to it in the description. So finally, just a quick update on my crazy quilt that I have here. I did baste it with pins, and I did make a video of basting it. So just so you know, a few days ago I made this video and I added a voiceover. I don't like voiceovers that much, but sometimes that's the only way to do a video like this to explain what's going on. So let's take a look at me pin basting this quilt top. So first I lay the backing down with the pretty side down towards the floor. That's the back of the quilt. And then I'm getting it all straightened out with my feet. I use my feet all the time to do that type of stuff. And I'm taping it down. And I start at the top as you can see, and I just put it in the middle and then on the corners, and then I flatten it out with my feet again, and then I go around to get it adhered to the floor. Now, I don't pull it too tight, but I also don't leave it too loose. And I think this just comes from experience on knowing the amount of tightness. I wish I had a formula for you, but I don't. So I tape around the sides just with some painter's tape, and then I lay my batting down. I don't tape my batting down. Some people do. I do not. This is just what works for me. Next, I take a lint roller and I get off all the fuzzies and threads, and then I lay my quilt down on top. And this is where the fun part, at least for me, comes in. I use these pins, and they're curved, and then I also use this tool, which I don't think they make anymore, but it's a really great tool for putting those pins in. And I go around, and I started in the middle, and I worked my way out, and I did the middles of each of the blocks, and then I did close to the intersecting seams. Now, I didn't want to snag any of my embroidery stitches, so it's not exactly on the middle of my seams, but it is close to the middle of those seams. And I go around doing that to all of them, making sure that it's flat, and just systematically working along each of those blocks to get them in there. I wish I worked this fast in real life, but this is sped up, as you can tell. And I just keep going around, getting those pins in to place. One tip is the pins are open in that container. I leave them open. When I take them out, I don't close the pins. That way I can just grab them. I know that they are all opened already, and I'm ready to go. Normally I dump a bunch of these out on the quilt top, but because this quilt top is so busy, I couldn't see them, so I have to pull one at a time out of that box. There we go. And last pin is in almost. Let's see, I think I'm going to check here in a minute to make sure that they're all in, and go get some scissors. Oh, nope, I must have missed them. Oh, that's right. At the end, then I did go around the edges. Usually I baste those edges with just a long needle and some thread, but again, because of the thickness of this quilt, I did not do that. I used pins around the edges. So I'm just making sure everything is down nice and flat. I found if I put the backing down too tight, it does pucker, and that's just something, it's my style of doing it, and again, everybody has their own little technique of doing it. So now I actually cut around the edges, the batting and the backing, and I cut it away to lift the quilt. This for me works best because it allows it to stay taut, but also I just know that it's all ready to go then. And that's the way it works for me, again. And I just cut around and pull the pieces away. And if they're big enough, I usually put them in my scrap pile, and if not, I throw them away, like the little pieces of batting I'll toss. And of course the tape. All right, so there you have it. Next week I'll show you quilting this quilt top. So I'm not great at free motion quilting, however I am going to try it. Unless I chicken out and just do straight line quilting, which I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at walking foot quilting, but anyway, I don't know, we'll see. I have some plans for it. I have plans for using the walking foot if I choose to do that, and I have plans for doing free motion. So stay tuned for that, and I will show you next week how I quilt this quilt. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great weekend. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. If you celebrate Passover, happy Passover. If you just celebrate spring or whatever holiday, happy everything, and happy weekend. Make some time to sew, and I'll see you soon.